Well, welcome back to the road to 2200. I'm at 1934. My opponent's at 1979. And here we go. D6 is interesting. Two. Okay, I don't know what's happening anymore. What are they doing? Um, I mean, should I assume this is coming? I mean, it's interesting that this is normally where I put my bishop, so they've prevented that. I'm just going to play normal moves then, right? If my opponent's going to play weird moves, my usually plan is to play normal moves. Okay, so I do need to keep in mind, what if this? Am I worried? Does that impact me somehow? I don't know. That's interesting. What am I doing with this bishop? Like, I want to play e3 to be able to develop this bishop, but then where does this one go? So I might even just do this setup this game and say, okay, you want to push these pawns on me? I'm going to go ultra safe. I'm going to go here. Okay, wait. If they go here, will I suddenly want my bishop here blocking my queen? Not sure about that. I mean, I don't really know what else to do. The moves I'm looking at are this. Those are the moves. Maybe I just go here first. And just say, I don't know where this bishop's going yet. And if I don't know where the bishop's going, then why am I just hurling it out onto a square? Maybe that's not such a good plan. And in fact, maybe this bishop is going to end up coming out this way. Okay, so he is indeed doing that. And the question is going to be, is it a castle's over there? Or like what is happening? That pawn structure is, kind of weak. So I'm not really sure what's happening with it. Okay. So just a very limited opening, right? Not a bad opening, but not a lot of space. The knights are neither on their dream squares. Like, it's a modest opening. I think that's what I'll go with. It's a modest opening. I'm pretty tempted to go here and here. Maybe that doesn't work. I'm also tempted to go like here, and do that kind of stuff. I think that's got to be the way. Go here. I don't think they want to trade this bishop. This is another weird move. This opponent is playing very weird moves. I'm not saying bad moves. I don't know if they're good or bad, but they're unusual, and I think that one was bad. I don't understand that move. I think b5 would be a very strange move. Like, I'm developing all my pieces to pretty good squares. My opponent hasn't completely undeveloped here, hasn't castled. Neither knight looks particularly great. Now, they might have good squares coming, right? Like, maybe the idea is to come out here, and that seems fine. But as it stands on the board, I just feel like my position is quite a bit better. No, the question is, can I hold it? Because it's subtly better, right? It's not like dominatingly better. I kind of want to go here. And I would love to go here, but I don't think that is going to work. Takes. I'm going to go here. It's also on this nice diagonal, which looks kind of open. I'm wondering, do I just have some simplistic ideas like here, takes, threatening checkmate? Like, do I really have something as basic as this at my disposal? That's kind of hard to believe that would be working. But if you look at, by putting the knight over here, my opponent has a very little defenders and a very open king. So we got to look at this. So if I do go here, I'm not committing myself to take here, right? So if I go here, what does my opponent do? Okay, I guess if they move this knight, which I don't think they're going to. Okay, let's say I don't even know what they're going to do. They make a move. I take here. They take back. I take. Now they move the knight. No, they can't move the knight. I'm threatening mate now. They could go here. So I think this is devastating. Cutting off the queen, and I really don't get anything. So I don't think that like just outlandish play is gonna work. So then my backup's to kind of look at something like this, but I don't know that that works either. They just push here, and then what have I gotten? I have to move my knight. Maybe I go here, but then they go here, cementing that pawn. So now I'm thinking, what about here? And then if here, what do I have? Maybe I can just pop up to here. Another move I'm looking at is like this. Ooh, and then here, and now this pawn can't move very well. Okay, I'm going to do this. If nothing else, I feel like this is a pretty good space gaining move. Oh, actually, that's a terrible move. If here, I actually drop the pawn. That was a very bad move. Could be game losing. I don't know. It was a bad move though. What frustrates me most is I just didn't even look at anything like that. I just made a move, and it was like, oh wait, does that lose after I made the move? I feel like the time to decide that is before. Okay, so I get bailed out here, which is friendly of my opponent. Oh, and now this is cut off. Like this was just a bad idea. This was a very bad idea. Okay, so I've cut my own queen off from the diagonal that was one of my biggest strengths. All right, so I'm gonna take here. And now I don't really know where this game is going. I've kind of lost the train of the game. Probably gonna do something like this. I think, happy to trade. I'm happy to trade here, right? Yeah, I'm gonna trade here. I'm thinking this. Yeah, I think I like this. Pushing back the bishop. Ah, that's a nice little in-between move. So I wasn't all that eager to mess up my pawns. But I will say, if they go here, here, well, now I just have a file on the king. Though, admittedly, they can move over and have a file on my king. But now I can also go here. They've given up the blockade of this square, and I can suddenly open up my queen on their king. So, for instance, here, here, I go here, they go here, I can go boom, opened up with check, all kinds of stuff might rain down upon them. Or maybe even, and then also like this idea with the discover, like there's a lot that could happen. I think it would not be a good idea for them to play G takes F5. That just doesn't seem like a good plan for them. Okay, that seems better. Yeah, I think I just take. Ooh, are they gonna take with a queen? And now suddenly, yeah, this game has really changed. Suddenly, I have a weak pawn here. My opponent has plenty of pieces available. Oh, okay. I think that was an unusual decision. I think I want to trade off that guy. Like something like this. Just to get rid of that bishop. Because then if like takes, I could stick this rook here. It feels pretty good. Really trying to figure out, can I go like figure out a way to jam a piece in there. Is there anywhere better I could put this knight? I also just want to, I almost want to just give them this pawn to loosen this up, but I don't think that's a good idea yet. Okay, so I'm going to go here. offering up just a nice trade here. Okay, they take happily. I don't know if taking happily was a good plan there. And now we've got this nice diagonal here. That's kind of hard to oppose. I feel like I can put my rook here. I'm not really threatening anything with the rook there. It just kind of feels like a pretty aggressively placed rook that's very hard to chase away after this, and it really impedes, you know, ideas of pushing that f pawn. So I don't know. It just kind of feels like a good spot for that rook. Okay, that's probably a very good move. Kind of forcing me to get rid of my. Wow. Yeah, that's such a strong move because it pretty much forces me to trade, and now their pawns are totally fine. If anyone wants to try to claim an advantage, it's probably my opponent at this point. That's unfortunate. Boy, how do I want to do this? Do I have another move here? I guess I do. I could go here, and after takes here, is that actually better or worse or the same? I kind of think I'd probably rather have the knight here, but if I go here, then they. Oh, actually, I think I'd be happy if they push that pawn. Then after takes, they've got a bunch of pawns that are kind of spread out and a bit vulnerable. And if takes queen here, that knight could jump in there if it want. Like, we could do some things. So we're going to go. It feels a little bit cute, and I'm kind of worried I'm missing something. Oh, I actually really like this. It almost forces them to do it, because otherwise I'll take here. Or take there with the rook, either one. And then I'm doing quite a bit better than I was. So I just like that a lot better than me taking. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Yet another nice move. My opponent's full of nice moves here. Cutting off me from being able to take here, but now I feel like I can go here. And that might be nice as well. Takes. Here, yeah, I'm going to go here. I'm just going to develop another piece. And say, okay. All right, you develop a piece, I'll develop a piece. And again, I'm hitting that pawn. And now maybe they're going to protect it with the rook. And then I'm not really sure what I'll do. Ah, okay. That certainly works. I do have a really interesting play of going here and then here, here, giving up the exchange and getting a pawn. I don't know that that is good. Oh, okay. I can actually just run away with the rook also. Or take. Yeah, let's just run away with the rook to here. Here. The reason I'm going here is so that after takes, I can double up here on this file. It's going to be kind of hard for them to push this pawn through with my little bind of the square. I still think I'm worse, but it certainly is interesting. I don't think this is one of these like I'm worse, I'm lost. I think it's just I'm worse, but it's interesting. Okay, so then I go here, hitting the pawn. It seems like a horrible move. Just so weak. So where do I put the rook though? I put the rook there. I'm gonna put the rook here. So it's backing up this guy, and then I'm going to move him over. And after this, I'm going to go here. And then if it goes here, they lose. So probably not going to do that. But as I've been doing lately, so low on time. Oh my goodness. I'm treating these like classical games, and my opponents are treating them like blitz games. It's like, okay, maybe I need to pick some spots where I'm moving faster earlier. I don't even know where I burned all my time. That's what's worrying me. If I could be like, okay, I burned my time in this spot and it was a big moment, then I would be okay with that. But if I just burn my time chatting away on a spot that didn't matter, then that's a problem. So if I lose this game, I'll certainly going back through to try to figure out where I gave up all my time. All right, so I don't think that's a good move. Just don't. What? That's how troubled you're feeling about your position, that you were willing to give up the exchange there? Did they not give up an exchange? They did not give up an exchange. What am I talking about? Okay. That's okay. We can go here. We're still pressuring this pawn. I don't think they can save it. They can't get both rooks on it. I just go here, and now the pawn's gone, and I'm in very good shape. This pawn is still a weakness. It might just be best to consider it gone, but still, after like takes, here, I would actually win another pawn. So I'm on the cusp of having an advantage here. And I probably already do have an advantage. So it's kind of amazing how a very even game can switch very quickly. I think that bishop move was a bad one. I'm going to go here and just say now I have a passed pawn too. Thanks. I mean, this position is very much flipping in my direction. I'm frankly stunned by how much this position has turned around. This is a very, very stunning. And it's even hard to target this weak pawn because I'm protecting it. So, I don't know. I kind of think my opponent's going to be tempted to go here and think like, ooh, I'm putting some pressure on. But I think I just go here, eat the pawn, and don't mind. Okay, so we're definitely going here. Yes, definitely going there. A trade would be fine. Okay, that's an interesting one. And the answer is yes, I'm going to do this. And I have a reason. The reason is, after takes, I get to push, and I'm hitting this pawn. And I want to give up this weak pawn in the middle, I think, for this pawn. So much so that my opponent's like, no, I'm good. Which, maybe I really messed that up, actually. Maybe now I gave up the little advantage I had. I'm wondering if I can go here. So I go here, takes, here. Can't protect that pawn, so I think that's fine. But yeah, that was probably a big mistake, actually. Because, it's protected too. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now a mistake is compounding, and I might be in trouble. Like, this is the amazing thing about chess, right? Just a second ago, I was clearly winning, and now it's kind of like, are you winning? Is it a draw? Are you potentially losing? I don't know. That's very disappointing. That I made a great move if my opponent had to make the move that I assumed they were going to make, but they're like, I don't have to make that move. I can do other things. And I'm like, how dare you do other things? How dare you? All right, the nice thing is this king is locked out. And the knight's locked out, because if he goes here and gives up this pawn, my opponent is dead. There's no way they don't lose that. So, it's a tough spot. And in fact, this knight has very few moves. I think it probably is best to do that. I'm going to go here. Wait. If they go here, I take... Okay. I think this is okay, because this bishop can guard that pawn. So I think it should be fine. I think they're going to go takes, check, thinking like, haha, I got a free move. But I do get to go here and then just win this pawn. And I'm pretty sure if I win this pawn and this bishop covers this pawn, I win. Now, pretty sure and being sure are quite different. Quite different indeed. And it's nice that because they made such a big mistake and put this king here, this pawn can never come up and guard. So the answer might just be simply move out of the way. Then if I try to go here, okay, let's just go along this path. I think this works. Interestingly, maybe after I go here, they can go here and have something. Because here, it takes a couple moves, though, to get over to that pawn. I think I'll be okay. But I think my opponent is in bad shape. I guess this is probably their best move. But I still can go... Oh, I can go here and do nothing. This knight never has to move. Not quite sure what I was thinking on that. Yeah, so I think probably the best idea is to go here. But then I think I'm going to go here. And now the king... Actually, can the king come in here then? So if I go here, king comes in here, I go here. Still can't really get over. The other question is, do I just make a run for it? I think it's too early to make a run for it. I think I go here, give the king that square. I go here, king still can't get in. If we end up going takes, and then the king says, haha, I can come into here and eventually get this pawn, I think I'm gone anyway. Oh, that's a good move. Okay. I'm going to go here, cutting this off. Once again, the king can't do that much. Let's see. If I go something like here, here, we are covering the queening square. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's close. And the nice thing is, once I start pushing this pawn, I could also start pushing that pawn if I lure him over. So we're in an interesting spot. Oh, this is also very interesting. I think this move is now viable. Because if I go takes, I don't get to come back in time. Okay, so let's come over there. Boy. Why can't I go here? I'm threatening this and it can't move. So I go here, check, I take. Yeah, I'm going to go here. This seems like a good move. Also boxes this king out. I guess it already did box him out. I think we get this pawn. And I think I'm in very good shape here. Having 2 passed pawns with a bishop covering both sides of the board seems rather strong. That's a reasonable move for sure. I guess I go here. And this idea is nice, because if I take, then he gets this fork. So that seems pretty strong. And it might not be enough to win, actually, if I just end up with this pawn and they have a bishop and a knight and I have a bishop. I don't think I can win that, actually. I think that's probably a draw. So I might have made some mistakes here. I feel like this is such a strong move. I'm not sure why my opponent's not just immediately making it. Do I have something like check here? No, I don't think that does anything. Oh, okay. So just maybe the ordering is changed and that's okay. So I go here. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's just, you better handle this pawn. Ooh, I don't know that that's going to work. I don't know about that. Check, and then I run with this pawn also. And now all I have to do is stop that pawn, which I can't stop, by the way. Now that I see this clear, I can't actually stop it. Here, 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 it's gone. So it's only 2 away. I'm 3 away. So I am going to get my queen also. Ooh, that was probably, well, I guess I can't get back in time, can I? I think I lose. Wow, that's kind of stunning. Oh, time is not on my side. Yeah, I lose this one. Wow, okay. I don't really know what to say about that. That's kind of shocking. I definitely thought I had this one won. At least a draw. And giving them that pass pawn was a mistake. Well, I don't know if I gave it to him. But them getting one, I should not. When I moved the bishop, or the king, I let them do that. I didn't have to let them. So when I go here, I don't lose the bishop yet. I'd love to hang on to this bishop because it's so far over though it's going to get forked. Yeah, there we go. There's the fork on the bishop. Well, we'll see how good my opponent is at mating in this scenario. It's not that hard. I don't remember the corner. The corner changes things. This might be a draw actually, because I've got the corner. I don't remember all the rules of this. Okay, I can go here. I won't run out of time. That's the one positive. I know I won't run out of time. Okay. Just going back and forth, bringing the queen in, then bring the king in. This, yeah, that's a good spot. Oh yeah, that actually wins, right? Because now I have to bury my king. Yeah, that should win. Yeah, they slowly bring the king in and maybe. And in fact, I'm out of moves. I have to give up my pawn. Okay, well, I lost. Oh my. That's that one hurts. Whew. Okay. There's times when you're like, I wish I hadn't played that one like live on camera where people saw, and I'd like to just, fume about this one myself. So my opponent's playing weird moves. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. This is a weird opening. I'm just going to flip on the engine for a second. The engine says +1. Oops. I don't think I would say +1, but, let's see. What does the engine even say here? Because I'm trying to come up with a plan. So the engine says my plan is fine of G3. I'll leave on the engine for a couple just to see if the plan worked out. And the engine likes my moves. All my moves are fine. It does say the number one move there, I would have liked H4. H4 was definitely something I was considering, but I was just a little nervous about this. I guess he comes here. They go here. And I just thought, it's nice, but I don't see exactly what I have. And the computer's kind of like, well, what you have is just their king is so airy that, I don't know, it's just weak. Okay, I decided to go this way. Engine says it's all good. We're doing great. We're like +1.4. Didn't like that move, which I didn't like it either, right? Immediately I was like, okay, now this is weaker with this. Now my queen is cut off. Like, what have I done here? It's not terrible, but it's not great. Engine suggests this or just developing a rook. It even suggested this. Let's look at this for a second, because this was the move I wanted to make, but I just thought it was too, I don't know, it's too optimistic. Okay, so the engine's not saying it's followed up by a sack, right? It's just like we can just make normal moves and our knight's in a decent spot. Okay, things are still fine. We're still plus. Now we're +1.8. So it wanted to take with the pawn. F4 is the number one move, and now I'm +1.8, doing great. And interestingly, this was the wrong approach. The engine says, let's just play out its line. Bring over here. Let's say the queen goes back, and now F5. And what? Okay, they can't take this way. I was thinking maybe they could just push through, but then I guess they just lose a central pawn. Okay. I mean, basically the engine says, essentially we don't need a kingside attack. We could just develop pieces. And in fact, here the engine's like, I don't know what happened here, man, but it's equal. It's just dead equal now. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, ooh, we got stuff cooking. This is going to be good. And the engine's like, no, it's not. It's just an even game. And this was a very nice queen move. Was it an only move? No, it was the only move to have equality. It's a nice move. I didn't see that move, which is, I hate not seeing good moves. It's just an equal game. So I've totally blown everything by thinking I had an attack when I didn't have one. I thought that they stacked an exchange there for a second. I don't know what that was about. Here, suddenly, I thought I was winning. I'm hitting this pawn. This pawn's guarded. I'm winning. And the engine says it is equal. Nice try. It's equal. It is equal. Well, it was equal. Now it's not. So what was my opponent supposed to do? It says b5. Okay. What if I just take here? Engine says black is winning. Like black is up 0.9 even though I'm up a pawn. I guess it's just simply they get a passer. And pass pawns are dangerous. But I don't know. It's hard for me to look at this and say I am losing. Okay. So I don't know. The engine sees a very concrete line, I'm sure. All right, so let's get back to the game. I feel like I'm doing great. Engine says now I am. I'm +2, in fact. And you know what's a terrible move? This move. This move is almost equal again. So let's look at some other choices. So this pawn is incredibly weak, and there's no way to back it up. Or there's 2 moves to back it up. So I could go here, here, and then I guess the king. Oh, the king can't go to either of these squares. This looks like it just wins the pawn. Let's say they come back, threatening my pawn. I could just go here, solidify the pawn. Remember, I'm up a pawn, right? This is a passed pawn that I'm just, not a passed pawn, but it is an extra pawn, and this pawn is a passed pawn. I don't have to do anything fancy or cute, and I got fancy. I was like, oh, fancy time. I'm going to push this, give up my passed pawn, but get this pawn, and now this pawn's incredibly weak, and the engine says, yes, that is a good move, but your opponent doesn't have to do that. That's their best move. And so now it just kind of doesn't quite work. Wait, okay, that was a big mistake by my opponent. That's interesting. That this move loses the game. Because I go here, here, and then my move of e3. Now they can't really do anything. I'm trying to figure out what my winning idea is. Maybe it's just this. Okay, so this does not work out. I thought they were going to take with the knight. They take with the pawn, and that's incredibly weak. As we saw, it kind of hangs the pawn. So the way to do it, according to the engine, was to go here. Yeah, I guess then if they go here to be able to push this, we go here and immediately take the pawn. So I kind of just misordered that and gave up some of my advantage. And then here is fine. But I should have gone this way because this move is devastating. That's what I missed. This really all comes down to I let my opponent play f5, and now the game's super complicated, right? Before that, if I go here, it's just kind of like, okay, I'll go here. I actually don't know if I can do that. That might not work. But this bishop is monitoring this. I have 2 passed pawns. I'm fine. If they go here, whatever, they can't come here and make a pass pawn. But by going the way I did, I was like, here's what we should do. Let's make this game wild. You get a pass pawn. I get a pass pawn. And here, I'm lost. And this is wild to me. I have two pass pawns. I have the bishop against the knight with pawns on both sides of the board. This at a glance is like, I obviously win, right? And I was thinking, even here, I was like, I've got this game won. And even now, I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. And then they play f4, and I'm like, wait, huh? There. Oh, now they have a pass pawn. Oh, wow. Now the drawing margins are very narrow. There are only 2 moves that don't immediately lose the game. One is a5, and one is bishop d3. But I still didn't fully appreciate the problem I was in until here. And now I was like, okay, bishop, wait, what? How does the bishop stop this pawn? Oh, it does not stop the pawn. I see. So I've lost. People. I don't know what to tell you. Chess is hard, and chess is very destructive sometimes. So, some takeaways. Here's one. If you have a very strong position like I had here. The game is clearly over. Um, find moves that don't give your opponent's counterplay. Like there is just no reason to let my opponent make a pass pawn over here and do a bunch of cool stuff. There's just not really any reason to do that. Just come this way and win the game. Use your 2 pass pawns. So that is one takeaway from this game. And that was a hard one. Let's see. Another one was way back here when I thought I was going for a big attack. Right? So here, going all the way back to here. I, in my head, am like, okay, remember a couple moves ago when they had no one guarding the king and the king looked all airy? I'm going for the attack. But now we fast forward a few moves and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, how are we going for an attack? There's no attack here. This doesn't do anything. If instead I just play normal chess and just develop pieces, I'm going to be in a much better spot. And I think that's one of the hardest things in chess is to shift gears so suddenly like that. To go from I'm on the attack to whoa, let's reassess. Let's re-examine this position. This is not a position where we're getting a checkmate in the near future. This is a let's get our pieces in the game moment. Another problematic move. This move. The reason it's so problematic is not because it's a bad move. It's mainly to me because I was thinking my advantage here laid in the fact that I had this free diagonal, that my opponent didn't have many defenders, that at some point I could do some cool things like here. So if all that is what I'm banking on, why am I putting a pawn here, taking away the square for the knight, and cutting off the king? Now, the computer says it's fine. It's not as good as the best moves, but it's not a terrible move. But to me, that's where computer analysis is problematic. I just think it was a terrible move because it meant I didn't fully... It meant I was hitting my own plans for no reason. And also, I need to figure out this because this looked winning to me for black. So how is this not amazing? What tactic am I missing here? Well, can they just guard it? They can guard it this way, certainly. Okay, and then now things, I guess, kind of get messier. But black is up a pawn. Oh, okay. All right. This is falling at the end of this particular line. But okay. So, but that's one of my other takeaways is like know your plan, and don't just jam pawns forward and be like, okay, I'm just gonna move this pawn to move this pawn. I was more like, I'm not really sure what to do here. I guess this will be good. Remember, I was like, then I can go here and stop this pawn from moving, but my opponent can just move up. I think the biggest takeaway of this game actually is this is like the 4th time I've said if my opponent makes this move, then I go here, missing an obvious move that my opponent has. So you really need to be looking at your opponent's moves. What are they doing? Try to make their best move. Don't make their second best move. And the last takeaway is my opponent played really weird at the beginning. Like really, really weird moves up to here. I'm happy that I didn't just go like, all right, time to destroy them. They don't know what they're doing. This is a terrible opening. Because it's not. Like I have a tiny lead, but it's not like they've done anything bad. They've just made weird moves that are fine. They developed pieces, maybe not to their best squares. They're getting ready to castle. I just think it's important, and something that I'm constantly wrestling with is getting out of the mindset that if my opponent makes a weird move in the opening, I should be able to punish it and go for the win. I just developed normally and got an even better position. Okay, so I think I got some good takeaways and a really hard loss to stomach. Hope you enjoyed it, though. Hopefully you learned something from my terrible loss. It looks like we're down to 1927. This is definitely not the road to 2200. It is the road back to 1900. But I'll see you next time, everybody.